The twin suns of Arcturon burned high above the metal city of Varine, their golden light glinting off tall glass towers and floating ships. The air shimmered with heat and noise, traders shouting, hover carts rushing, and the endless buzz of alien voices. Among that chaos, something small and silent sat on the cold metal ground. A little alien girl, trembling, her thin body covered in dust and fear. She had no clothes, no name tag, no one claimed her. Her skin shimmered faintly blue and her eyes glowed softly like tiny moons. To most aliens passing by, she was nothing, just another abandoned creature, one of the countless orphans left behind after the war. Disgusting, one alien hissed, stepping over her. She's a lost species child. Don't touch her, you'll get in trouble, another warned. The girl didn't cry anymore. She had stopped crying days ago. The last tears she had fell into the dirt of the marketplace, and no one had cared. She had forgotten what warmth felt like, forgotten what a voice of kindness sounded like. She just sat, her small arms around her knees, whispering the only thing she remembered, a sound, maybe her name. Lyra. In a corner of the same market, a human walked slowly through the crowd. His name was Captain Aaron Cole. A soldier once, now a wanderer. His old ship, the Horizon's End, was parked just outside the city gates. He had come here looking for spare parts. But fate had other plans. Humans were rare on Arcturon. Most aliens avoided them. They were seen as dangerous, unpredictable, and too emotional. Aaron was used to the stares. He didn't care anymore. But that day something made him stop. He heard a faint, broken sound, like a whimper. When he turned, his eyes caught the girl sitting by a stall of metal scraps. Her body trembled in the heat, her lips dry and cracked. Her eyes met his, frightened but still glowing. For a moment, time froze. Aaron frowned. "Hey, you okay, kid?" No answer. Just a weak shake of the head. He took a step closer, ignoring the muttering crowd. One alien merchant barked, "Leave her! She's a rejected hybrid, no records, no owner. Not even the adoption law accepts her species." Aaron knelt beside her, his shadow falling over her tiny body. He could see her heartbeat fluttering weakly beneath her chest. His voice softened. "You're freezing," he said quietly, even though the suns burned above. Still no words. Only those eyes, wide silver blue, filled with fear and something else. "Hope." He opened his jacket and wrapped it around her shoulders. The crowd gasped. A human showing mercy to a creature that everyone else had thrown away. "She's not yours," someone growled. "You'll be punished for this." Aaron looked up slowly, his stare sharp as steel. "Then they can punish me." He lifted the girl carefully, her weight no more than a bundle of air. She flinched at first, expecting pain, but instead she felt warmth. The first warmth she'd felt in so long that her body didn't know how to react. She clung to his shirt weakly. "It's okay," Aaron whispered. "You're safe now." By the time they reached his ship, the market noise faded into the distance. The girl had fallen asleep in his arms. Her breathing was shallow but steady. Aaron laid her gently on a cot and sighed. What kind of world just leaves a child like that? He murmured to himself. He checked her pulse, her vitals. Strange readings. Her body had both organic and crystalline structures, half living, half energy. Something unique. Something powerful. He realized then that she wasn't just any orphan. She was part of a species that the Galactic Council had erased. The Illyrians, beings once feared for their control over energy fields. A species destroyed after they refused to join the war, and now one remained. As the ship engines hummed softly, Lyra stirred in her sleep. Aaron sat beside her, watching the small alien child wrapped in his jacket. He didn't know why he'd done it. Maybe because she reminded him of his daughter, the one he'd lost on Earth years ago. Maybe because the universe had grown too cold, too cruel. But deep inside, something told him this was no accident. This little girl, this lost being, would change everything. And out there, in the silent dark between stars, something else had already noticed her. Something that wanted her back. The first light of Arcturon's twin suns bled into the cabin of the Horizon's End. Aaron sat in the cockpit, staring at the blue mist outside the viewport. The girl, Lyra, was asleep in the small medbay, wrapped in one of his old blankets. Her faint glow made the room look alive, like starlight breathing. He rubbed his tired eyes. He had done something stupid, something dangerous. Saving her hadn't just broken local rules, it had broken galactic law. The Council's rule was simple: no human contact or protection for erased species. Anyone who interfered could face imprisonment, or worse. But Erin couldn't erase the image of her tiny body in that market, abandoned like trash. The universe had lost its soul long ago. Maybe he just refused to lose his. When Lyra woke, she didn't speak. She simply watched him with those glowing silver blue eyes. There was no fear now, just confusion, and maybe a question: why did you help me? Erin smiled softly, handing her a small cup of warm liquid. It's okay. You're safe here. You can drink this. She took it slowly, both hands shaking. Her voice was barely a whisper. Why, you helped me? Erin chuckled. Guess I don't like seeing good souls left behind. Lyra tilted her head. Good souls? Yeah, he said, staring at the stars outside. Something humans used to believe in. That everyone has a little light inside them. Even if the world forgets. She blinked, as if trying to understand the strange human word. Suddenly, a loud beep broke the calm. Erin turned to the console. A red light flashed, incoming patrol signal. His heart sank. Damn it, he muttered. They tracked me already. A holographic warning appeared. Unauthorized species detected aboard human vessel. Prepare for inspection. Lyra shrank back, her small hands clutching the blanket. Her eyes filled with panic. They take me. Erin met her gaze. Not if I can help it. He moved fast, switching off the beacon, cutting the ship's signal, and rerouting the heat signature. He'd done this before, smuggling refugees, running from patrols, hiding from the very government he once served. The engines hummed low as the ship slid into the shadow of a dead moon. The patrol passed by, a fleet of black ships with the Council's insignia glowing red. Erin waited in silence, every muscle tense. Lyra's small hand gripped his sleeve tightly. When the patrol vanished into the distance, he finally exhaled. Close one. Lyra looked up at him. You fight for me? Erin smiled faintly. Looks like I already am. Later that night, while Lyra slept again, Erin opened his ship's terminal and searched her species data. Everything was locked behind red clearance, but one fragment of an old archive appeared. Illyrians, energy-born hybrids, feared for their power to bend molecular energy, declared extinct after the War of Stars. He frowned. So they erased her kind completely. His mind raced. If the Council found out he had one aboard, they wouldn't just take Lyra. They'd dismantle his ship and wipe every record of him. He should have turned her in. But something in her eyes, something too human, that wouldn't let him. He opened a new encrypted file and recorded his voice. Captain's log, day 3121. Rescued a child, unknown genetic hybrid, possibly Illyrian. She's scared, but there's something powerful about her. I don't know what I've gotten myself into, but if anyone hears this, know that she deserved to live. He closed the file. Outside, the void of space shimmered with a strange light. The next morning, Erin woke to a soft hum coming from the med bay. The air felt charged. When he opened the door, his eyes widened. Lyra was floating a few inches above the bed, glowing brighter than before. Lyra, he shouted, rushing forward. She opened her eyes. Energy danced around her like waves of blue fire. The med bay lights flickered. I don't know. What's happening? She whispered, her voice echoing oddly. Erin shielded his face. Instruments sparked. Gravity wobbled, and then silence. Lyra collapsed into his arms, unconscious. The light stabilized. Erin looked down at her glowing skin, then at his ship's scanner. It was off the charts. Energy levels beyond human comprehension, he whispered. Kid, what are you? Before he could process what had happened, his communication panel lit up again. This time, not from the patrol. A coded message appeared, encrypted in an old military format he hadn't seen in years. Captain Cole, we know what you found. Do not run. Return the asset immediately. Erin's blood ran cold. Only one group used that code, the Galactic Enforcement Bureau. He looked toward the med bay where Lyra lay sleeping peacefully. Then he clenched his jaw. Sorry, Command. You'll have to catch me first. He powered up the engines. The stars blurred into streaks as the horizon's end jumped to hyperspace, carrying a human outlaw and a glowing child the universe wanted erased. The stars outside stretched like white threads as the horizon's end jumped through hyperspace. Inside, the lights flickered with every surge of the engine. Aaron sat in the cockpit watching the monitors. His heart still raced from the last encounter. He knew what that message meant. They know about her. The Galactic Enforcement Bureau didn't send warnings twice. If they wanted someone, they came with destroyers. He looked toward the med bay door where the faint blue light from Lyra's energy shimmered through the crack. She was still sleeping, peaceful, innocent, unaware that the entire galaxy might soon be hunting her. Aaron leaned back, muttering under his breath, "You picked the wrong human to mess with." Hours passed before Lyra stirred. She sat up slowly, her silver blue eyes blinking in confusion. "Where are we?" Aaron smiled softly. "Somewhere safe. For now." She touched the wall, curious. "This metal bird?" Aaron chuckled. "Close, it's a ship, my ship. Flies through space." Her small fingers brushed over the panel and suddenly the lights flickered again. Aaron froze. "Whoa, careful with that." "I didn't touch it hard," she said innocently. He frowned, checking the console. No damage, but readings spiked again. Faint energy waves rippled through the hull, bending circuits for a split second. Something was happening to her. Later, when Lyra ate her first proper meal, she looked at him and whispered, "You?" "Not like others," Aaron smiled. "Others?" "Those in the market. They looked at me like I was nothing." His chest tightened. "Yeah, people fear what they don't understand." She frowned. "Then they fear me?" Aaron sighed. "Maybe. But that's their problem, not yours." He handed her a small data pad, showing pictures of Earth, oceans, forests, children playing. Her eyes widened. "Your home? It's so blue." "Yeah," he said softly. "It used to be." Lyra tilted her head. "You miss it?" Aaron nodded. Every day, for a moment, there was silence. Two lost souls, one human and one alien, sharing a quiet connection among the stars. But peace never lasted long. A shrill alarm cut through the cabin. Aaron jumped up. "No, no, no." He ran to the console. A signal was locking onto their coordinates. "How?" he muttered. "We're in stealth mode." Then he saw it, the beacon pulsing near Lyra. It wasn't the ship. It was her, Lyra. He shouted, "Stay still." She looked terrified. "I didn't do anything." Energy started to flicker around her again. The same blue fire, stronger this time. The air in the ship felt electric, heavy. Loose objects began to float. Aaron tried to reach her, but his hand stopped in midair, suspended by invisible force. "Lyra, calm down, you're safe." Tears filled her glowing eyes. "I don't want to hurt." "You're not hurting me. Just breathe." Her small body shook, light bursting from her chest like shattered stars. The ship's systems screamed, metal bending as the hyperspace stream distorted around them. Aaron yelled, "Lyra, look at me! Look at me!" She looked up. Her eyes glowed pure white, then dimmed. The power vanished, everything dropped at once, tools, data pads, even Aaron. The engine stabilized with a deep, exhausted groan. Lyra collapsed. Gasping, Aaron crawled to her side, holding her tightly. Hey, it's okay. I'm here. You're okay. I didn't mean to," she whispered, trembling. "I know. It's not your fault." After a long silence, Aaron finally spoke. "Lyra, that power, what is it?" She shook her head. "I don't know. When I get scared, it happens, my people. They said it was the light inside. But then the soldiers came. They said it was dangerous," he frowned. "So they wiped out your kind because of this?" Lyra's voice broke. "They said we were too bright, that we could destroy their machines." Aaron clenched his fists. He'd fought in wars, but even he couldn't imagine destroying an entire race just for being powerful. "You're not dangerous," he said firmly. "You're special. Don't ever forget that." While she slept again, Aaron studied the readings. Her body wasn't just creating energy, it was absorbing it, pulling it from the environment. Even from the ship itself. He realized something terrifying. If she lost control again, she could tear a hole through space-time. He needed to find someone who understood her biology. Fast. But where could he go without being tracked? He remembered one name, Dr. Ilya Korin, a scientist who once studied hybrid life forms. She had vanished after the war, rumored to live on the outer belt colonies. That was their only chance. Aaron set the ship's new coordinates and whispered, "Hold on, kid. We're going to find answers." As the ship moved toward the dark edge of the galaxy, Lyra's energy pulsed faintly, syncing with the ship's heart. But far behind them, in the void of space, 3 massive ships emerged from hyperspace, black, silent, and hunting. Inside the lead vessel, a cold voice spoke. "Track the human vessel. Bring the child alive." The officer hesitated. "Alive, Commander? She's an Illyrian. If she loses control," the voice interrupted, calm but sharp. "She won't. We built the cages for her kind long ago." The stars reflected in the commander's eyes, silver blue, just like Lyra's. The horizon's end drifted silently through the dark reaches of the outer belt. Stars glittered like frozen tears outside the cockpit, distant and unreachable. Aaron sat alone, watching them blur past, lost in thought. Lyra was asleep again in the med bay, her faint blue glow pulsing slowly, peacefully. But peace never lasted long in the galaxy, not for a human who had broken galactic law, and certainly not for the child every government feared. The ship's navigation panel blinked. A red symbol appeared, the coordinates of an old asteroid base, hidden deep in the shadow of a dead planet. That was where Dr. Ilya Koren was supposed to be. Ilya Koren. The name brought back memories Aaron wished he could forget. Once, she had been the leading scientist of the Human Research Division. She designed medical nanites, hybrid tech, and helped the Council experiment on energy species. Then one day she disappeared. The official report said, "Killed in a lab explosion." But rumors whispered that she had seen something she shouldn't have, something the Council wanted buried. Aaron never believed in rumors. Until now. As the ship approached the base, the scanners screamed, a defense grid still active. Aaron cursed under his breath. Of course, he hailed the station. "This is Captain Aaron Cole. I'm not here to fight. I'm looking for Dr. Koren." For a moment, nothing. Then a voice crackled through, calm, firm, unmistakably human. "Turn your ship around, Captain." "No one here by that name," Aaron smirked. "Then who's talking to me?" Silence, then a low sigh. "Docket Bay 3, alone." The airlock hissed open. Cold vapor drifted through the corridor. Aaron stepped in slowly, hands raised. The base was old. Rusted metal walls, flickering lights, and the quiet hum of forgotten machines. A figure appeared at the end of the hall, tall, wrapped in a gray coat, her hair silver like starlight. Her eyes, sharp and tired, studied him carefully. "Ilya," Aaron said softly. She frowned. "You shouldn't have come here." He gestured toward the ship behind him. "I had no choice. I found something. Someone." Her expression hardened. "What do you mean?" Aaron turned slightly, and Lyra stepped into view, shy and uncertain, her silver blue eyes wide. For a brief second, Ilya froze. The color drained from her face. "Impossible," she whispered. "An Illyrian child." Lyra flinched, hiding behind Aaron. "I found her in a market," he said. "Left to die. The Council was hunting her." Ilya took a step closer, her voice trembling. "Do you know what you've done, Cole?" "Saved a life," he said. "No," she snapped. "You brought the most dangerous being in the galaxy to my door." Aaron crossed his arms. "You used to help their kind. You studied them." Her eyes darkened. "I created them." Aaron froze. "What?" Ilya turned away, pacing slowly. "Years ago, the Council wanted to weaponize energy-based life. They asked me to merge human DNA with Illyrian energy cores. The first test failed. The second burned half the lab. But the third?" She looked back at Lyra. "The third survived." Lyra's voice quivered. "You made me?" Tears welled in Ilya's eyes. "Not you, child, but one like you. The Council used my research to build weapons, living ones. They couldn't control them, so they purged every Illyrian, destroyed every trace of the project, and erased me too." Aaron clenched his jaw. "So they killed an entire race to hide their crime." Ilya nodded slowly. "And now if they find her, they'll finish what they started." Lyra stepped closer, her eyes glowing faintly. "Why they hate us?" Ilya knelt down. "Because you're powerful, my dear. More powerful than any ship or weapon. You can bend energy, destroy or heal without machines. They fear what they can't own." Aaron's voice was low, angry. "Then we'll make sure they never own her." Ilya looked at him sharply. "You don't understand, Cole. She's not just powerful. She's unstable. Every time she uses that energy, it tears at her body. One day it'll tear her apart. Aaron turned to Lyra. She looked small again, a child trapped between light and destruction. He placed a hand on her shoulder. Then we'll find a way to fix it, Ilya sighed. There is no fix. Only control. She needs a stabilizer. A device I designed long ago, but it's inside a restricted lab on Vega Station. Aaron smirked. Of course it is. That place is guarded by the Bureau, Ilya warned. You step foot there and you'll both be hunted to the edge of the galaxy. Aaron grinned faintly. Then we better make it worth their chase. Ilya stared at him, this reckless human who had just challenged the entire council. And then for the first time in years she smiled. You really haven't changed, she said softly. Aaron shrugged. Guess not. He turned to Lyra. Get some rest, kid. Tomorrow we go to Vega. Lyra nodded, her glowing eyes steady now, not afraid, but determined. As they walked back to the ship, Ilya watched them disappear through the hatch. She whispered to herself, May the stars protect you, child of light. The galaxy will not forgive him for this. Then, far above the base in the silence of deep space, 3 black ships changed course, heading straight for Vega Station. The horizon's end sliced through the black void like a silver blade, its engines whispering through the silence of deep space. Captain Aaron Cole's eyes were fixed on the glowing map in front of him. Vega Station. A place of secrets, shadows, and betrayal. To most travelers, Vega was just a trade hub, bright lights, loud music, and illegal deals buried under layers of order. But to those who knew better, it was a fortress of the Galactic Bureau. And tonight it was their destination. Aaron exhaled. We get in, grab the stabilizer core, and get out, quietly. Lyra nodded, sitting beside him. Her glowing eyes reflected the stars. No fighting. Aaron gave a small smile. That's the plan. But plans don't usually like me much. As the ship approached the enormous ring of Vega Station, Aaron switched off the beacon. They couldn't risk being identified as a human vessel carrying an Illyrian child. The Bureau had eyes everywhere. Remember, he said softly, you're just a kid wearing a holographic disguise. Don't touch anything shiny and don't glow. Lyra grinned faintly. I try, Aaron chuckled. Good girl. The disguise shimmered around her. Her blue skin faded into a pale, human-like tone. Her silver eyes dimmed into gray. To anyone else, she'd look like a small human traveler. But deep inside, her energy still pulsed, wild and alive. The docking bay was crowded. Aliens of every kind rushed about, traders, smugglers, officers, and thieves. Neon lights flashed in 1,000 colors, and the scent of oil, smoke, and spice filled the air. Aaron kept Lyra close. Stay near me. Vega eats people who get lost. They moved through the corridors, blending into the noise. Aaron's old contacts had given him a code, a location where a black market tech dealer kept parts stolen from the Bureau. That's where they'd find the stabilizer core Ilya talked about. After a few turns, they stopped at a dimly lit stall marked with a flickering sign. Stellar Repairs. The man behind the counter was a gray-scaled alien with 3 eyes and too many teeth. Aaron stepped forward. Looking for something. Special. Old council tech. Energy stabilizer. The alien squinted. Dangerous stuff. Illegal. Aaron slid a small chip across the counter. So's breathing on Vega. The alien smiled, exposing sharp yellow teeth. Follow me. They were led down a narrow corridor into a room stacked with crates. The hum of power cells filled the air. The alien opened a container. Inside was a small sphere glowing faintly blue wrapped in protective glass. Lyra's eyes widened. That's it. Aaron reached out, but before he could touch it, a cold click echoed through the room. He froze. Dozens of red lights blinked in the shadows. Laser sights. A voice echoed from above. Captain Aaron Cole, you didn't really think we wouldn't find you, did you? Aaron's stomach sank. From the far end of the corridor, armed soldiers stepped out. Bureau agents clad in black armor, their insignia glowing crimson. The alien dealer laughed nervously. Business is business, Captain. They pay better, Aaron growled. Should have known. Lyra grabbed his sleeve. Aaron! Stay behind me, he said. A tall figure stepped forward, a woman in silver armor, her face half covered by a mask. Her voice was cold, precise. The child comes with us. Aaron narrowed his eyes. You'll have to go through me first. She tilted her head. You don't understand what you've taken in. That thing isn't a child. It's a living weapon. A remnant of forbidden creation. Aaron's hand tightened around his blaster. Her name is Lyra. Before the officer could reply, Lyra's disguise flickered. Fear made her energy pulse. Her true form glowed through the hologram, silver and blue light spilling into the dark room. The soldiers raised their weapons. Target lock, someone shouted. Aaron pulled Lyra behind a crate as laser fire exploded through the air. Sparks flew. Metal melted. The entire storage bay became a battlefield. Run! Aaron shouted, grabbing Lyra's hand. They sprinted through the smoke, bullets sizzling past. Aaron's pulse pounded in his ears. He returned fire. 1, 2, 3 shots, hitting drones and lights. The door ahead sealed shut, trapped. Lyra looked back. The soldiers were closing in. Her eyes glowed brighter, tears streaking down her face. Aaron, I can stop them. He shook his head. No, not again. It'll hurt you, I don't care. Before he could stop her, Lyra raised her small hand, and the air trembled. The walls vibrated as a surge of blue-white energy burst outward. The soldiers were thrown back like rag dolls, their weapons crushed by invisible force. The entire corridor shook as light exploded, then vanished in silence. Aaron shielded his face, then looked up. The soldiers were unconscious. The door had melted open. Lyra collapsed. He caught her in his arms. Hey kid, stay with me. Her voice was faint. It doesn't hurt. This time. Aaron smiled softly, brushing her hair back. You did good, Lyra. You did real good. He carried her back to the horizon's end, alarms blaring behind them. Vega Station was burning, chaos spreading through every corridor. As the ship blasted off into space, Aaron looked down at her peaceful face. But before he could breathe relief, the communication panel lit up again, a message from Dr. Ilya Korin. Aaron, you walked into their trap. They wanted her to use the power they were watching. Now they have her energy signature. You need to run. They're coming. Aaron looked out the viewport, and there they were. 3 black ships. Emerging from hyperspace, blocking their path, he whispered, then let them come. The black ships closed in around the horizon's end, their red engines burning like scars against the dark. Aaron gripped the controls, every muscle tense. Warning alarms screamed across the cockpit. Lyra sat weakly beside him, pale and trembling. The energy she released on Vega had drained her, but her eyes, those silver blue eyes, still glowed faintly like the last embers of a dying star. Aaron, she whispered. They found us. He gave a grim smile. Yeah, I noticed. The main view screen flashed with a transmission. A cold voice echoed through the speakers. Captain Aaron Cole, power down your engines and surrender the child. Any resistance will be treated as an act of war. Aaron muted the channel. They always say the same thing, he muttered. Never ask why. He turned to Lyra. You trust me? She nodded weakly. Always. Good, he said. Because we're not running anymore. The first barrage hit. An explosion rocked the ship. Aaron's body slammed against the seat as sparks showered from the ceiling. The shields flickered, then stabilized. He cursed under his breath. 3 destroyers against 1 old freighter. Great odds. He slammed the throttle forward. The ship spun hard, diving into the shadow of a nearby asteroid field. The black ships followed like predators circling prey. Hang on! Lyra clung to the seat as gravity twisted. The asteroids rushed past, huge, silent giants drifting in the void. Aaron weaved between them, each turn brushing death. But the Bureau ships were faster, stronger. They boxed him in. Another explosion tore across the hull. Warning lights flashed red. The engines were overheating. Lyra's voice trembled. We can't escape. Aaron looked at her, then at the stars beyond the glass. Then we fight. He opened the weapons bay. The old cannons hummed to life. Let's give them something to remember. The first shot ripped through space, hitting a destroyer dead on. The explosion lit up the asteroid belt. Direct hit, Aaron shouted. But the celebration didn't last. 2 more ships closed in. They fired simultaneously, beams of red energy slicing through the void. One grazed the hull, the other smashed into the rear engine. The ship spiraled. Lyra screamed as the gravity cut out. Aaron fought the controls, his hands burning from sparks. Come on, old girl. Don't die on me now. The engines sputtered, coughed, and roared back to life. The ship steadied just enough to stay airborne. "Lyra," he shouted over the alarms. "I need your help." She looked up, tears streaking her glowing cheeks. "I can't control it." "Yes, you can. You saved us before, you can do it again." She hesitated. "If I try again, it might destroy everything." Erin's voice softened. "Then we destroy their everything first," her breath caught. She closed her eyes. "Okay." She pressed her palms together and a faint light began to form between them, small, fragile like a heartbeat. The light grew, brighter and brighter until it filled the cabin. The air hummed. Every metal surface vibrated. Erin's controls flickered. "Easy, kid. Easy." Lyra's voice was calm now. "I can see their energy. I can feel their ships. Then show them what happens when humanity protects its own." Outside, the darkness split apart. A wave of blue-white energy burst from the horizon's end, radiating outward like a second sun. The Bureau ships fired back, but their beams melted before reaching the blast. The wave hit them, shattering their shields, bending their metal, twisting their engines until they screamed. One ship exploded, then another. The third tried to retreat, but the pulse followed, swallowing it whole in light. When the glow faded, only silence remained. The asteroid field floated quietly again, drifting under the starlight. Erin stared at the screen, stunned. "You did it." Lyra slumped in her seat, exhausted. "I didn't mean to. I just wanted to stop them." He rushed to her side, holding her gently. "You did what you had to. You saved us." But as he looked closer, his heart sank. Her glow was fading fast. Her pulse, if it could be called that, was weakening. "No, no, no," he whispered. "Stay with me." Lyra's eyes fluttered open. "Erin, am I bad?" He shook his head fiercely. "You're the best thing left in this galaxy." She smiled faintly. "Then why are they so afraid of me?" Erin swallowed hard. "Because you remind them what real power looks like. Power that comes from kindness." She closed her eyes, her light dimming completely. Erin held her close, his voice breaking. "Come on, kid. Stay with me." Suddenly the comms panel blinked, an incoming signal. Dr. Ilya Korin's voice came through, shaky but urgent. "Erin, the stabilizer core, it's not just for control. It can save her. It balances the energy tearing her apart. You have to install it before she fades." Erin's eyes widened. "How?" "You'll have to connect her to the core directly. But you need power, massive power. More than your ship can handle." He looked around. The answer was right outside. An unstable asteroid filled with raw plasma ore. "Enough energy to light up a city. Or blow up a ship." Erin stood. "Ilya, if this doesn't work, then at least you tried," he nodded. "Always." He carried Lyra to the engine room, placing her near the fusion chamber. The stabilizer pulsed in his hand, glowing with the same blue light as her heart. He whispered, "Hold on, little one. Humanity doesn't give up." And as the horizon's end dived toward the glowing asteroid, the stars seemed to watch in silence, waiting to see whether love or destruction would win. The horizon's end dove toward the glowing asteroid, its hull shaking as waves of plasma energy flared around it. Warning alarms screamed through the cabin, but Erin ignored them. His focus was on the child lying in the engine room. Lyra, the little alien girl he had rescued, who now hovered between life and death. Her skin, once softly glowing blue, had turned pale and dull. The stabilizer core in Erin's hands pulsed faintly, reacting to her weakening energy. He crouched beside her, his voice low and desperate. "Stay with me, kid. We're almost there." The ship trembled again. The engines flickered, threatening to die. Erin grabbed the console mic. "Ship AI, route all remaining power to the fusion core. Override safety locks." "Warning," the AI replied calmly. "This procedure will cause reactor instability." Erin smiled grimly. "Good. I like unstable." He dragged cables from the control panel, connecting them directly to the stabilizer. Sparks burst as he twisted the final wire into place. The chamber filled with blue light. Lyra's faint body started to lift slightly, floating in the air. Erin placed his hand gently on her chest. "Come on, Lyra, I didn't come this far to lose you now." Her lips moved weakly. "Erin, it hurts." "I know," he whispered. "But you're strong. You're stronger than any of them." Her tiny hand reached up, touching his face. Not like them. You have light too." Erin's throat tightened. "You gave it to me, kid. Outside, the asteroid's surface erupted, waves of fiery plasma bursting into the void. The horizon's end shuddered under the pressure, its metal skin glowing red. Inside, the stabilizer's light intensified, humming, vibrating, synchronizing with Lyra's fading energy. Her body convulsed once and then silence. Aaron froze. No, the lights flickered. The ship fell quiet except for the distant hum of the reactor. He lowered his head, his hand trembling against hers. Please don't go. Then faintly he felt it, warmth. A small, steady pulse. Lyra's eyes opened, glowing brighter than he had ever seen. Not the dim shimmer of before, this was pure light, brilliant and alive. Her voice was soft but strong. Aaron, it's okay. The stabilizer floated beside her, spinning faster and faster. The light from it merged into her body until the device vanished completely. Aaron stepped back, shielding his eyes. Lyra, what's happening? She looked around, her gaze calm, almost peaceful. I see everything now. The energy, the stars, the fear, the pain, all of it. Lyra, listen to me. You have to stay here, with me, she smiled gently. You saved me when no one would. Now it's my turn. The ship's sensors screamed. A new wave of black ships had arrived, dozens this time, surrounding the asteroid field. The Bureau was coming for her. Their leader's voice echoed through the comms. Surrender the child. You cannot protect her anymore, Aaron shouted back. You don't get to decide who lives and dies. But the truth hit him hard. The horizon's end couldn't fight this many. They'd be vaporized in seconds. Lyra rose into the air again, her hair and eyes glowing like twin stars. Energy flowed from her hands, gentle but powerful. They're scared, she said softly. They hurt others because they are afraid. Then let's show them something stronger, Aaron whispered. Show them what mercy looks like. She nodded and then the universe lit up. A wave of light burst from Lyra. Not like before, not destructive, but warm, alive, and infinite. It expanded across the battlefield, touching every ship, every mind. The Bureau soldiers gasped as their weapons shut down, their systems freezing. But they weren't dying. They were seeing. They saw memories. Lyra's pain in the market, Aaron's kindness, the loneliness of a galaxy that had forgotten compassion. The light didn't burn, it healed. It filled every corner of space with a feeling most had long forgotten. Hope. Aaron shielded his eyes, tears running down his face. Lyra. The light faded slowly, leaving behind silence. The black ships floated powerless. The asteroid's glow dimmed, and Lyra was gone. Aaron stood alone in the engine room, surrounded by the faint echo of her energy. The stabilizer, now a dull sphere, rolled gently against his boot. He picked it up, holding it close. You did it, kid, he whispered. You changed them all. Weeks later, the galaxy began to change. The Bureau ended its purge orders. The Council lifted bans on hybrid life. Across dozens of worlds, humans and aliens alike reported seeing strange blue lights in the sky. Small, flickering, like whispers of peace. Aaron never spoke of what happened that day. He rebuilt his ship, traveling quietly between colonies, helping lost children, forgotten refugees, the broken and the outcast, and every night, when the stars stretched across the dark, he would look up and say softly, Still watching over me, aren't you? Sometimes the stars shimmered brighter, just for a second, as if answering back. On one distant world, a young girl with silver blue eyes awoke in a field of light. She looked at the stars, smiled, and whispered, I'll keep the promise, Aaron, the light will never die.